So the cool thing about my friends is that they each have certain talents. You know, Lucky's building cars and fabrication, and Harrison's is also fabrication, but he's also a painter, which is really neat. He's been painting for a while, and he does a great job. He's eventually probably gonna paint the car, so today we're gonna get it into primer. He's got all the goods.
I'm gonna paint some shit today.
Good morning.
Good morning, yeah, top of the morning.
All right, we're heading out.
All right, so we're here today to put some primer on Tweety Pie, Piero's little Tweety Pie. So, my hoop piece, we got a 23 T bucket here, 59 AB flathead. Got some of those nice Lucky scoops on there. Tim Sutton built this car a while back, sold it to Mickey Himsel. Mickey Himsel took the engine out and a bunch of stuff. Tim told me that Mickey wanted to get rid of it. It was a good price, so I drove up with Lucky to Mickey's house, found the engine actually. I think it was Craigslist. It was like a couple hours past where our destination was, so we drove past that, picked this up and a bunch of goodies that the guy had, and brought it back, then did a little bit of work. Right up. Moving! It's moving! I just drive it. I really haven't done much to it, other than upholster it, get a few things with the fuel tank, installed a compartment under the seat, but yeah, just a little stuff. And I've been working on this one on and off for too long.
Several years,
yeah,
like 5 years at least.
Yeah, too long. We all got together, and Lucky, Piero, Jay, Joe, and we all chopped it together. Piero's helped me out a bunch with the frame and getting all that stuff dialed in, so we got most of the frame kind of squared away. I just need to get a drive line. That's the only thing I'm waiting on, is a drive shaft. Banjo Rare 39 top loader with a 283. Try to keep it as traditional as possible. It's gonna be purple. It's gonna look like that thanks to Bruce Gossett. Gave me a little inspiration there. In the future, there's gonna be a lot of purple tees. Just saying. So we've been going back and forth, waiting on the sandblaster to finish that up, and he said he was gonna get some primer sooner than later. I looked in my paint cabinet and I remembered that Joe gave me a gallon of some green primer because he wanted to have his car primed that green before Lucky's open house, because I was doing a bunch of body work and stuff, getting it ready for paint when he passed. And he gave me that gallon, and I told Pierre, I was like, hey, I got some more Joe laying around, you know, you got the grill, I figured put that on there at least. I mean, it's free primer, and I mean, it stays in the family, just like what we've been trying to do. And yeah, I recently acquired Joe's truck, so I got his 58 F100 that can live through with me and do what he would have done best and just drive the hell out of it. Yeah. So.
that it?
That's it. It's all green. Joe Creep Green.
Mean Joe Green.
Mean Joe Green. It's a new thing. We got it. We're good. It's painted. We're primed. And Pierre can have the fun of assembling and making it
Nice.
go vroom.
Go vroom. Thanks, buddy.
Anytime, man.
Oh, it'll be more times.
Oh, yeah. Plenty more times.
There's gonna be more times.
Yep.
Today I'm at Troy's Hollywood Hot Rods. I did some work here for Bailey's recently, and I was snooping around his back area and I found something that I really needed. And I asked him, hey, is that for sale? And he said, bring me a case of beer. So I'm gonna go give him a case of beer, finish up some work, pick up what I'm getting. Hey.
Hey.
I got you something.
Woohoo! That's awesome. This looks like payment for a transmission. That's just the right amount. So what's really unique about this car is we call it the Duarte Coupe. It was built in 1956 in Southern California. It was put into storage about 1958 as far as I know, and it's never seen the light of day until 2019 when I got it. So it was like a true barn find. So if anybody ever wants to know what an actual legitimate Southern California 50s hot rod is, here it is. One of the neat things that I really like about this car is the engine, because it's got an Oldsmobile engine that actually the numbers check out to be 1958. So again, if it was put into storage in 58 or 60, somewhere in there, if you think about it, this had a brand new crate motor, kind of the same thing people do in hot rodding today, but back then. So literally a brand new Oldsmobile engine was put into this car before it was put into storage. So it's really an amazing timepiece, and I'm pretty excited to be the caretaker of it for its life at this time.
So the other day I was here and I was snooping around like I usually do at my friend's shops, and I was in this area here and I noticed that there was like all sorts of stuff in here. I noticed this transmission here and I've been looking for one, so this was here, and I asked Troy how much. He says, well, how about a case of beer? So I gave him a case of beer, and yeah. So now it's a 39 box. It needs probably going through and cleaning up, but should work. Thanks, Troy. Everything is back in my garage now. Everything is painted green. Basically what my plan is to do really quick is to assemble the car back to mock-up mode in order to film somebody that I want to have with the car, as well as tell their side of the story. Someone kind of important in the history of the car. So I want to throw it back together really quick so I can get the interview done. So that's all I'm gonna do right now. But after that, again, we'll get blown apart again, and I'll start doing the body work and all the fine tuning and everything. But I just wanted to get it sealed up so nothing would rust, and it kind of looks funny, but it's gonna be, it's gonna be green for a while. All right, wrapping it up for today. Got the front end on, got the mock-up rear end put together, dash on, little by little. Yeah, it's pretty cool looking. So I just got back from the early Ford store. I ran over there and picked up some studs and nuts so I could put together the rear end. I ended up knocking out all the wheel studs a few months ago when I swapped out the drums. I'll probably take it over to Lucky's and we'll just go through it and rebuild it. He knows a lot more about it and I don't want to go screwing it up. So we're gonna take it over there probably in a few months. And then we'll go ahead and go through it, make sure the rear end is good. I also picked up this from Hollywood Hot Rods, as you saw, and it turns really nicely. So I'm probably just gonna run it. I'm gonna go in there and clean it up really nice, power wash it, get all the grease off of it, paint it, clean it all up inside and run it. So that will be pretty good. This guy's pretty good, and this guy's gonna be pretty good. And that guy's pretty good. This is pretty cool. I got a package today from my buddy Hudson Joe. He did a little cool artwork on it. Hudson Joe helped me find one of the gauges that I thought was going to be easy to find, but it turned out it wasn't, and he happened to have one, so there it is. Oh yeah, it's a nice shape too. Thanks, buddy. This is going to be the final one that I need for my collection. On my way to Lucky's today, I've been collecting all my gauges. One is not the right one, but I'm gonna make it work because that's the Speedo gauge and I can't really find that one, so I'm just gonna use a Stuart Warner one for now. But the rest are all exactly the same, including that weird gauge thing. We're going to Lucky's new shop. I don't think we've filmed in this shop yet, but Lucky had to move out of the other shop, so we're gonna head over there and get my gauges installed into the dash because he's actually pretty good at that. He's done many dashes. Alright, this is Lucky's new shop. You guys haven't been here yet. There's the race car.
Anyway, so yeah.
Man, I'm filming. I'm totally filming right now.
So, today.
Anyways, we're here. We're gonna where Lucky is.
Hi.
I'm gonna film. But Lucky's gonna put some.
We're gonna do some layout on Pierre's Tweety Pie Dash.
Yep.
Try to get it exact to the original car, which is going to take a bit of figuring out just to lay it out.
He's good at
drill
that.
Some holes and get the gauges in here. See how it looks.
Yeah, these are all from SoCal. They're the fake. I guess Tweety Pie had the shoebox ones. But these are their versions of shoebox ones, and they're close enough. Famous last words. Close enough.
Well, they're new.
Yeah, they're new.
You haven't put a horn in it?
I'm gonna put a horn in it.
What kind of horn?
Maybe an auga.
Auga! So I'm looking right now at the distance between the oil pressure and the Speedo, and I'm guessing it's about 3/4 of an inch.
Yeah, it looks way
then
bigger. And it's like way bigger over here on this end.
this one, that gap changes. Or something like that.
Nailed it.
Well, within reason.
You nailed it with the pen.
Here's the thing I like to think. We either got it exactly perfect or not at all.
No. Well, if it's perfect, it's not going to be right. And if it's right, it's not going to be perfect.
It looks right though.
It does look pretty good. There's some math going on there. All that math. Lucky finished the faux trim it had. Yeah, that's totally like it.
Looks just like it.
Yeah, once it gets chromed, it'll be just like it. I could even polish it out. It'll be just like it. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Good. All right. I think that's pretty good. Awesome. All right, I'm going home. Thanks. All right, I'm at Walden's today, so I got these bones. I'm gonna redo the bones now because they were too short, and now that I got all the right parts, I wanted to get the right length, so I ended up buying these, and I just cut the ends off of it here at Walden's, but I need to straighten this one out, so I'm doing some filming here today, so I figured I'd just do it while we're in between stuff, so yeah. It's pretty good. Go with that. All right, so I cut off the ends, and then I added my new rod ends that I found. They're 54 Pontiac. That doesn't have the filler right here. They're on top. That was a big deal. It has the look of that old-timey bone style where they used to just take the center section out of a steering rod that has the cut and the clamp to clamp it down. And they used to just shove them into the bones and then kind of weld it all together. But I'm gonna use the bungs just because they're threaded and they're stronger. And I'm just gonna kind of, oh, here you can see, now I'm just gonna kind of weld this piece so you can see the piece there. So now I'm gonna weld it here, and that way I could use the clamp as the locking instead of like a jam nut. That's the way Tweety Pie had it, and that's the way we're gonna do it. It just makes more sense this way, because the bung has threads in it and it's got a little more meat. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited. These are gonna look way better than the other ones. The other ones were kind of beat up. And these have to get chromed. So I'm gonna take the whole front end apart, and I'm gonna use the pattern, these old bones, to get the right, to get the right swoop in them. I also bought a chrome cross steering rod. I taped it up so it wouldn't get scratched. And then I'm gonna add the puck here where it goes, 37 inches from the front. But the bones are going to need to be cut and welded, and it's quite a bit of work, so I'm going to work on that now. This is a puck Lucky made me. It's a weird mount that I guess maybe the position of the 32 rails, he had to make this like little extender. I mean, or whatever it is. I don't know the reason, but it's cool. I like it. And having this without the Zerk in the middle, you know, kind of, I don't know if he was going for the look of like round and round and round to make it all like match and look somewhat nice, you know, instead of having this big Zerk fitting in the middle. You know, maybe he just got it and it worked, but I like to think it's a design element. But I could be wrong. So anyways, we're gonna do that. Got some original measurements. So I gotta copy that sweep because we actually, if you remember, we did it. Whew, it's got a lot of bend. We did it using the actual measurements from Tweety Pie. So it's quite a sweep. So I'm just drawing I drew a line around it so I could compare it on the bench to get the right angle for the dangle. After I did these first few cuts and I lined it up to the table, it still didn't have the right arch towards the top of the bone. When we did this bone, we really messed with this. It had all sorts of patches and it was already kind of chewed up. It might have been already bent up, so these weren't so accurate. I mean, we had this shape right. This shape I know is correct because I got it from Tweety Pie. But I just think it got chopped up somewhere here and it just didn't, it's not the same. But I'm trying to make it fit towards the drawing, and actually it's been nice because I'm making this it's actually been nice because I'm really trying to make this sweep a lot nicer than just like a hard, Tweety Pie was kind of a hard jag and it looked kind of weird. So I added a couple more cuts. I'm still not there, so I'm gonna keep opening these up and keep bending it up until it meets the, until it meets this pattern here. So you can see now how off it is. So I'm gonna just keep cutting these back until I get it lined up, but the rest is all perfectly lined up. It's gonna be need a lot more welding, but it should look a lot nicer. The sweep should be like a lot nicer than this one, because this one was like BAM! I got the first one done. Took all day. A lot of work. I still got to grind the welds, but I think I'm just gonna get this side done, and then I will do the other side, and then get this thing back on the ground. Oh yeah, look at this. How about that? I ordered original plates. Yeah, there's this company out in Germany that apparently they replicate old California plates, whatever number you want. So I got these exact plates. They also make the tags for them, which is pretty cool. I got 1962, figuring that since he sold the car in 62, that's probably the tag he had on it. So that's pretty cool. I'm pretty stoked about that. All right, so I'm making, God, I'm so sweaty. Oh, I'm so sweaty. It's so hot. But I'm making a license plate bracket, and I was just looking at my phone where he mounted it, and it looks like over the I and over the A. Here's my little bracket I'm making, but over the I and over the A it looks like. So I was just gonna kind of wing it here. That's what I've been doing all day, is kind of winging it. And I'm gonna drill 2 little holes. So I think it's like right here. Over the I, and then kind of past the A a little bit. So like, I guess like right about here. I don't even know if that's center or not, but close enough. Here we are, present day, December 2021. About 8 months since I put out the first YouTube video about the car that ate my brain. Still tons of stuff to do. I'll be filming and documenting the whole thing and bringing you so much more in the next year. We had our guest come out, he checked out the car, so I'm gonna be bringing you that in 2022. And I just wanna thank Lucky, Harrison, Joe, rest in peace brother, we miss you, Clive at Stromberg, and the fellows at Offenhauser, and all my friends that donated parts and sold me parts and let me snoop around their shop and be a little pest and bug them. And I just appreciate you guys, because without all that, I wouldn't be where I am today with the car. I also want to thank everybody who watched and liked and subscribed and commented on these videos, not only this one, but the rest of the videos that are on the channel. And if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe and all that jazz, because it helps us with the algorithms, keeps us up on the YouTube food chain. We're about 9,000-ish subscribers. We'd love to get to 10,000 by the end of the year, which is in a couple weeks. And lastly, I'd like to announce that we have a new website. It's called Monsters Are Out, and we will have a couple of the old Mad Fabricator t-shirts on there, as well as Car That Ate My Brain t-shirts that are being worked on right now. Those will be out in a few months, but go check it out, pick up a couple tees. That is live now, and aside from that, I wish everybody a safe new year, and we'll see you in 2022.